It's Big Boy Rabbit. Hey, let's talk about some Swiss rifles. This is where my intro would be. If only I had one to put on this episode. Now, let's not forget, this is a collaboration with Sean over at the Blonde Sniper, Gary with Guns, and Gear with Gary Gunderson, and of course, my good pal Movie Maker. And the links for their videos will be down in the description. Smack them and give them a like, baby. Now let's talk about what y'all been waiting for. This here Swiss rifle, and my opinions on it. First off, let's go ahead and say that this right here is a Swiss K11. Yes, the carbine. Beautiful, beautiful rifle from RTI Royal Tiger Imports. This is an RTI special, that's right, because they do, in fact, have the best value on the net right now. So, you know, if you haven't and you need it, get it. It's a smart thing to do. They're a little rough, but hey, this is what I got to say. The K11s by far are the Cadillac, the best milsurp rifles on the market today. They generally come in absolutely fantastic condition. Just beautiful. Mine is incredibly rough. It came to me this rough, but you know, only like $400. So that's cool. And a lot of them have the unit tag and stuff under there where you get to learn about who was the last person with this rifle. And the bad thing about the K11s that Sean brought up is that the rubber kegs right here, I don't know what else you call them. I always called them kegs, but they tend to rot and break off after time. You see, it won't be too much longer till mine is probably going to get the old DX, and I'm gonna have to put an aluminum one on there. No biggie, little upgrade. The safeties are super awesome on these. You know that it's not going to fire when you twist and pull that. And the straight pulls, yeah, let's talk about that. Now, as you can see, the extractor is actually sitting on top of the bolts, kind of catty corner just a bit. And good old straight pull action. A lot of people are scared of it because it's just so easy to pull her on back and shuck that shell out and send another one if you got another one. This does have a last round stop, so you can't close the bolt with the magazine empty. Lets you know if you're not paying attention that you're out of ammo and you need to do an emergency reload. If you haven't seen the bolt on any of these Swiss rifles, it's absolutely bananas. But hey, it is sophisticated and it works amazingly. You do not have to worry about this thing exploding into your face. Now, to remove that bolt, all you got to do is hold this little lever down and then yaka, this sucker right on out of there. And then you can actually see the whole bolt. Kind of looks like the old school syringes, the old shots back in the day when they just reused them and they were made out of glass and had that big metal plunger on the back. Kind of reminiscence of that, huh? Giving the pain pills to the bad guys, baby, one at a time. But hey, these things are incredibly fast, insanely smooth, and just an absolute joy to run. And the beautiful part about these Swiss rifles is they are, in fact, detachably magazine fed. Now, unfortunately, to get these magazines, they're like 75 at best to 150 bucks if you can find them, because they weren't issued with spare magazines. They are meant to be fed by the old stripper clip. This is an aftermarket K31. We'll get to that in a minute. The K31 stripper clip, same stripper clip, and it feeds in from the top just like so. And then you just smash it down in here. Now, these stripper clips, if you get your own, go ahead and get the aftermarket plastic ones. If you want to get originals, they really were made to just be thrown away. They are made like they're barely holding together now. So just get you aftermarket plastic ones. They're made to hold up. They keep working. I've been using these for a while and they're really great. However, if you do leave them in the heat, remember that they are plastic, and that's going to happen. But I mean, that happens with the originals too because they're so worn out. But when you first get these little plastic ones, they actually do hold the bullets really well like this. It's no biggie. But hey, you know, check it out. Plastic is sometimes better. Something a little different about these Swiss misses that are different from regular old surpluses, they hold 6 rounds in the mag, not 5. Kind of neat, kind of like the Carcanos too. Something that Movie Maker brings up, a downside to using the K11 over the K31 is the K11 is for 400, whereas the, or no, 300, and the K31 is point of aim. So that's a little bit of downside. However, there are aftermarket point of aim front sight posts available for the K11s. And let me just say, before you're like, oh, but I don't have to modify the rifle, it's insanely easy to swap that out. Look at it. Do you see it? Do you see, like, I don't have to explain to you how to do that. You can just figure it out, right? One of the first differences you'll see between the K11 and the K31, the K11 still has this, I don't know what it's called, attached to the side of the bolt. And the K31, they DX that and attach this directly to the bolt body. And then with the K11, this little wood piece here, that is just receiver on the K31s. Another difference between the K31 and the K11 is K11 is that much shorter than the K31, and this is a little bit heavier, which actually helps mitigate the recoil from the 7.5 Swiss. Because this does have a little bit of a buck to it. It's more than a 308. And yeah, if you haven't shot one, you'll understand the first time you let one go. Something that both me and Gary love about the Swiss rifles, of course, is the straight pull and how absolutely fast it is. It blows any other bolt action rifle out of the water. 10 out of 10, any amount of money you want to bet me, I can outrun you with this K31. Any bolt, other than like a Blazer, you know, any Milcert bolt, K31, K11, top marks. They do, in fact, have a bayonet lug, and that is a stacking rod. If you were wondering, that is to stack them all together, multiple rifles, you hook them all together, and so you can stack them in little teepees. You've seen pictures and stuff, or maybe in the movies of usually muskets stacked up behind people, but you know, it's a thing that happens. They do have bayonet lugs, they do have bayonets. Unfortunately, for anyone who wants one, they want like a quadrillion dollars for them for some reason. Because even though they weren't used in any war ever, and neither were these rifles, people ask absolute premium for the Swiss bayonets because, oh no, they're good metal. I mean, but what what bayonet? What bayonet is different than the next bayonet? I have so many bayonets, and they're bayonets. Why does a Swiss bayonet need to be a quadrillion dollars next to a 1917 bayonet? All right, now come here, come here. Let's get serious for a second. Time to get spicy because I have an opinion. The K31 should never have existed, ever. They should have stopped with the K11 and went ahead and moved on with the progression of their autoloader, the SDG 57, I think it was. Incredibly cool space gun. If you've never seen it, stop watching my video and Google it right now and understand that because of the K31, that is a very mild upgrade of the K11. Mild upgrade, not enough to actually care about and not enough to actually put 400 extra dollars, like a 400 minimum premium over the K11 for the K31. Why? It's barely a different gun. Like, barely. They don't have any war significance whatsoever. Not because they were so, badass that no one wanted to invade, because they had no strategic value. There was no reason to invade Switzerland. You just go around it. There was no reason. That's why. Yeah, you can stay neutral when no one wants your stuff, you know? So, yeah, I understand that's why they didn't advance on to the autoloader, but why make the K31 at all? You weren't fighting anyone. You weren't going to fight anyone. You already had a K11, and then you made a slightly different K11. That's ridiculous, and that's why I think the K31's stupid. And I don't want a K31. That's almost like a civilian gun. Like that wasn't even made for the military, because you already had a military service K11, and then they made the K31 for no war, for a military that wasn't going to fight, that just got surplus to the American market. That's just a civilian rifle. Why would I care at all about that? At least this, they thought maybe Germany might. Come on. K31 is really stupid. I'm not downing people who own the K31. You know, if you're big money bucks and you just want to own all the Swiss rifles, or you want to own a K31 and you want to pay $400, $500, $600, $700 more than a K11, more power to you. You know, they do look nicer. They are slightly prettier, which is another reason I think they're dumb, because they're just a slightly prettier K11. They function the same. I mean, they work just the same. I could run you the same with my K11 against your K31. So why pay double? But hey, that's just a rant from Mississippi Milsurp. And I think it'd have been a lot cooler to have surplus STG 57s that aren't cut up and never put back together. No one ever made functional parts kits out of them, or took the parts kits and made functioning rifles for the civilian market with them. So yeah, they're here, but they're garbage. They're nothing. There's something you can look at. They're parts that you can look at. You can try to build them yourself. But now the parts kits are way too expensive to really, afford that. And we could have had them functioning, just like a modified version, semi-auto only, auto loading. We could have had those, but instead you have your K31s. So cherish your K31s instead of a cool STG-57 space gun. That's it for old Big Boy Rabbit. Hit the subscribe button if you hadn't already. I mean, come on, get with it. You know who I am. Hit the subscribe button and smash the like, smash the dislike. I don't care. I love y'all. See you next time.